A full national coronavirus lockdown has come into force in Austria. It's the first country in Europe to announce such a step as COVID cases surge. The Austrian government says it will also make COVID vaccinations mandatory from February, as Bethany Bell reports.
The lockdown will last for just under 3 weeks. It comes after record numbers of new COVID infections in recent days. Last week, Austria introduced a lockdown for the unvaccinated. But cases continued to soar and the government decided to impose even tougher measures.
Meine Damen und Herren, wir alle zusammen.
The Chancellor Alexander Schallenberg said COVID vaccinations will become mandatory as of February. The move is controversial. Thousands of people took to the streets this weekend in protest at the plans for compulsory jabs. Around 2/3 of Austrians are fully vaccinated, one of the lowest rates in Western Europe. Bethany Bell, BBC News, Vienna.
The Belgian capital, Brussels, has become the latest European city to see unrest over tightened COVID restrictions. Tens of thousands of people marched in protest and there were 40 arrests. Well, these disturbances follow protests in a number of European countries, and there was a third night of unrest in some Dutch cities, as Anna Holligan reports.
Another day of unrest, unsettling another European capital. This is Brussels. What began as an organised peaceful march quickly turned nasty. Some protesters threw fireworks at police, others targeted their vehicles. Officers intervened with tear gas and water cannon. Belgium has just brought in new rules in response to a sharp rise in infections. Demonstrators are mainly angry about the use of COVID passes, which stops the unvaccinated from entering venues such as restaurants or bars. Some object to plans to make vaccinations mandatory for health workers.
We know that the virus is there, but we leave it to people to decide whether or not to be vaccinated.
I came to give my opinion about freedom of expression and individual choice, and really to be able to respect everyone's choices.
The Netherlands witnessed the most extreme violence this weekend. Rotterdam was rocked by rioters. Police opened fire, shooting at the crowd with live rounds in response to what they described as a life-threatening situation. Vandals torched bicycles in The Hague. The Justice Minister believes organised criminals may be behind this.
These
are not demonstrations, these are attacks on police and firefighters. More than 50 arrests have been made and many more will follow.
These startling demos, happening too in Austria, Croatia and Denmark, reflect rumbling frustrations about the evolving COVID restrictions considered essential to bring down record-high infection rates. And there's more trouble here in the Netherlands. Small groups of people destroying things in the northern city of Groningen, and reports of unrest elsewhere too. It's mostly peaceful now, but the catalyst for this still exists, and many countries are watching and wondering whether this latest disturbing symptom may be coming their way. The World Health Organization has urged governments to redouble their efforts and reinforce the basics.
Average 48% of the European population is wearing a mask indoor. Any percentage above that will have an immediate effect.
With varying vaccine rates, getting the shots in is seen as critical, but they won't cure the distrust or divisions seeping through some European societies. Anna Holligan, BBC News, in The Hague.